Sonny, on Tuesday, North Texas fans were saying that this game really meant a lot to your program because of what happened last year, almost like your Super Bowl. Was that overstated, or did this game mean a lot to you?
Oh, I think, I mean, look, we talk to our players about this all the time. I mean, we play 12 times a year. You know what I'm saying? And our guys, you work out 300 times a year for 12 chances. And so, you know, I think there's some games that we looked back on last year. You know, and probably not North Texas, honestly, just because when we played North Texas last year, they were that much better than we were. I mean, they just were. I mean, the score was probably not indicative of the difference in the two teams. I mean, I think Seth probably could have beat us, you know, by 30 more points if he wanted to. And so, you know, we weren't very good, and they were very good, and so it showed. And you know, we played better tonight. You know, we got off to a good start and lost kind of our rhythm a little bit offensively in the second quarter. And at that point, I mean, you knew they were going to come storming back. I mean, you know, they have a really good program. The players are highly invested. You know, they have a great coaching staff. You know, they're going to win a bunch of games, and they've got confidence. So, you know, you knew they were going to make a run, and I thought, you know, they started to do it in the second quarter. You could feel the momentum kind of start to slip away from us, and they had it for a while. And I thought, you know, the third quarter was big for us. You know, we came out and ran the ball better in the third quarter, and you know, I think warmed down a little bit. And I think the key for us right now is just being able to play so many different guys. So, you know, look, the rivalry thing, I mean, look, the way I look at it, we have 12 rivals, and beating North Texas is a big deal. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. I mean, they have a really good team. They've won 8 or 9 games, I think, the last 3 years, have played for conference championships, and you know, we've beat 2 teams. You go and look at Arkansas State's done the same thing. I think they've won the Sun Belt 2 out of the last 3 years. And so we've beat, you know, 2 good football teams that have won a lot of ball games and played for championships, and you know, and we're getting better. You know, there's still moments where we're not very good, but you know, for the most part, we were a pretty decent football team tonight.
The fact that last year was a double-digit loss, here it's a double-digit win, that says a lot about how far your program's come, doesn't it?
Oh, I mean, it does. I mean, there's so many factors that go into that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's hard to look at it that way. I mean, we're getting better, and you know, it's like I told the guys afterwards. We gotta, you know, we're 2-0, and we got to remember why we're 2-0, and don't think all of a sudden we have anything figured out, because we certainly don't. You know, we're just trying to get better and play better next week.
What did you think of Shane?
Thought he played really well. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good football player. You know, he made some throws in the first half. He threw a corner out to James. It was about as good a throw as you could make. You know, he was pressured. He got the ball off. You know, he doesn't take sacks. You know, he's just really a smart football player, and he's a really good football player. I mean, he can throw the ball. He's got a great demeanor. He's calm. He makes good decisions. He doesn't force balls. You know, just all the stuff you want as a quarterback. And you know, it's pretty amazing. I mean, he didn't go through spring ball. You know, he's just, I think he's going to get, I think he's going to get better and better all the time. And you know, he just needs to keep coming and keep improving.
You replaced Kevin after that for Miss P8 team. I mean, where do you kind
Yeah,
of?
he's got a little bit of a groin injury,
Okay.
and so you know, I thought we'd kick him, and he didn't respond particularly well, and so we took him out. And we still had some issues with some snaps early. Now I think once we settled in, we were better. You know, and that's something that, you know, that's going to get us beat if we don't get it fixed at some point.
Considering how fast you started, well, the start for last week against Arkansas State, how important was it to start fast this week?
Well, I think it was for sure, just because, you know, I think North Texas is a good football team, and they're a team that when they have momentum, it can be really difficult to deal with. And I think, you know, and we saw that last year. You know, they just overwhelmed us early in that ball game. And so, you know, it was important for us to execute and get off to a good start. And we put a good drive together. And, you know, you look up and you're up 21-0. And, you know, I knew it wasn't going to stay that way. There was none of us that didn't think it was going to be a really competitive football game. Those guys are too good and played too hard for that to happen. So, you know, we just had to keep grinding, and the guys did.
What do you think about the pressure that you guys put on Mason?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of that, I think like anything else, sometimes that's coverage. You know, I think some of those were coverage sacks where, you know, we had guys covered, and you had to hold the ball just a little longer and somebody got home. And then other times we won some one-on-ones. You know, we had some guys beat some linemen and get there pretty fast. And, you know, I think we played really hard defensively. You know, I hated the touchdown at the end on the fumble, just because I think those guys played better than to give it 27 points. But, it was a great effort against a really good quarterback and a good offense, and a good football team.
Xavier Jones now has 6 rushing touchdowns in 2 games. Other than health, what differences do you see in him?
Well, I think he understands the offense better. I think he's comfortable with it. At this point last year, we're still trying to convince our players that the plays that we call work. You know what I'm saying? We're still trying to convince them that, look, that this is how you run power and this is how you block it. It might not have been how you did it before, but it's actually going to work if you keep doing it that way. And so there's a little bit of that goes on your first year. And so we dealt with some of that, and we're not dealing with that now. I think guys do what we ask them to do, and they're willing, and they're playing hard, and they're playing with some confidence, and we'll kind of see where that takes us.
The Dallas jerseys, those were new. What kind of?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes along with our theme, is trying to brand ourselves as Dallas's football team. That's what we want to be. We're in Dallas, and it's important to get everybody involved in SMU football, and we've said it over and over again. You don't have to go to SMU. We can be your second favorite team. You can go watch, Texas and LSU this week, but come to our game next week, or go watch, instead of going to Texas Tech, come watch us, or whatever. And so, that's what we need to do. We need to do that to be able to grow our program and build it the way we want to. And just want to give a quick shout out to our students. I think we had over 2,000 students there tonight, which, is big for us. We don't have a huge student body, and that's a very high percentage of students. So I appreciate them turning out the way they did and supporting our team, and it certainly means a lot to our players.
You spoke after the opener about how enjoyable it was to go on the road and win in somebody else's stadium. Given the way your matchup last year with North Texas went, is there a way to compare the gratification that I'm getting?
I think the biggest gratification is, you look at it and you go, well, we've made some progress. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what you want to keep doing. You just want to keep moving forward and put one foot in front of the other and get a little better every week. And that's just what I believe in. You take it one game at a time, and you don't, losing is losing. It doesn't matter who you lose to, really. It doesn't really matter who you win, who you beat, and so you've got to just keep moving forward and keep improving and keep getting better and learn how to play consistently and learn how to compete. And then, at the end of the year, you look up and you go, wow, we had a good year. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the way it's supposed to work. And just keep your head down and keep moving forward and see where that gets you.
Some of those throws Bouchel made tonight showed incredible touch, some back shoulder kind of things like that. Doesn't surprise you, or does? How good?
No. Heck, I saw him up close and personal when he was at Texas. I was at Cal. I think it was his second or third start, and they came to Berkeley, and he threw it up and down the field and had a heck of a ball game. And we Cal won the game, but Shane played lights out. So it was. Saw him then, and so I'm really not surprised by anything he does. He's a good football player. He just is, and he's knows how to play the game. And I know this. We're glad we have him. He's made a significant difference in our program.
During preseason camp, you talked about your quarterback position, and you mentioned 3 guys, Shane and Brown and Gibson. When you decided to pull Shane tonight, what made you go to Derek Green?
Well, a big part of that is, we'll see how it all plays out with those quarterbacks, and you just never know. With the 4-game redshirt thing now, you want to save games for them because you don't know when your quarterback's going to get dinged or you need them later at some point in the year. So we just felt like we wanted to preserve the games, with those guys, and Derek deserved to get some snaps, and Jacob Orline deserved to get some snaps, and so it's good to get those guys in the game when you have a chance to.
Xavier Jones really stepped up in the third quarter. How important was that for you guys?
It's big. Yeah, we didn't run the ball particularly well the first half, and so, we felt like that we could stay with it, and, we made a couple of adjustments at halftime, I think, that really helped us, and we just kind of needed to stay with it. We just felt like we were close in the first half to popping a couple, and what happens is the defense starts to wear down, they get about a half step slow, and you keep grinding, and all of a sudden, instead of getting tackled for a 6-yard gain, now he slips a tackle and he goes for 51 or whatever it was, and so that's why you got to just stay with the run game. And sometimes we run it, and it's like banging your head against the wall and you're going, why are they doing this? You know, we're getting 2 or 3 yards at a time, but what we're trying to do is stay out of 3rd and long, and we feel like we can execute well enough where if we get into 3rd downs and they're not real long yardage, that we have a chance to, to execute and to be able to convert 1st downs.
North Texas did a pretty nice job of kind of hanging around that,
Yeah.
weathering the
They
early
did.
storm.
Yeah.
And they got that field goal on the first drive of the 3rd. How proud are you of your team the way they didn't let it phase them, that they
Yeah.
were hanging around?
Well, I thought, first of all, that was a big stop by our defense, to hold them to a field goal right there for one. I felt like that was a big part of the game. If they score a touchdown there, then, then could be a big momentum shift. And our guys held them to a field goal, and we answered by going down and scoring. And I felt like at that point, at that time, that was the first time, during the game, I thought, we've got some momentum now back from those guys and started to feel like that we might have a chance to pull away. But, when Mason Fine, when you're playing against Mason Fine, when there's 3 seconds left, you somehow think that he still could score 28 points. You're sitting there in your mind going, how are they going to score 28 in 3 seconds? And, with him, you don't really count anything out.
You mentioned your offense losing its rhythm a little bit in the 2nd quarter. Was that because of adjustments by North Texas, or was there something within your offense that just got a little disjointed?
Well, I think it was partly North Texas stopping the run. We were, they were selling out, putting a lot of guys in the box, especially on 1st down, and so we needed to take a couple of shots. And Shane made a really good throw to Reggie at that point, and it was a heck of a throw. We got a big play out of it, touchdown, and that helped us a lot just because I think it loosened up, got the safety playing a little bit further over and a little bit more out of the box and helped us run the ball later on. So, the football is always kind of a game of cat and mouse. You're always giving up something to take something away. And so, that's the good thing about our quarterback and our receivers is that, if they're going to commit guys to the box, then, we have some guys that can win some one-on-ones, so we have a quarterback that can consistently get in the ball. And so now that forces people to play a little bit differently, which allows you to run the ball.